The date is November the 9th, 1905. A small four-man prospecting party consisting of Jimmy Martin, Ernest Bannon, Bill Meats and Dave Ross discover gold-bearing quartz reef in the upper reaches of the Blackwater Creek. The discovery was made on King Edward VII's birthday, hence the newly adopted name, the Birthday Reef. It wasn't long before news travelled and whispers of the discovery caught the ear of spectator Percy Kingswell in the Reefton pub. Seeing the opportunity in front of him, Percy was quick to purchase the claim from the prospectors for £2,000. After proving the authenticity of the claim, he then on-sold to a London-based company, Consolidated Goldfields, for £30,000 on a 6-month option. Consolidated Goldfields didn't waste any time in pumping the money and resources into establishing the mine for work to commence. They milled the local forests in order to build the mine itself and all the infrastructure needed for the local town. In the 1900s, it was common in this line of work to establish a community based around the mine for families. This gave rise to the township of Waiuta. At its peak, Waiuta housed a community 600 strong. It featured a vast variety of buildings essential for its operation and maintaining a happy, healthy community. Key buildings included a hospital, hotel, churches, pub, police station, post office, school, sports field, bowling greens, a general store and so much more. Life was good here for many years, a very prosperous town full of memories and a strong sense of community. Unfortunately, this all came to an abrupt end on July the 9th, 1951. The Blackwater shaft, crucial for ventilation and pumping, collapsed. This sudden closure left many miners without work literally overnight, prompting them and their families to leave Waiuta within just weeks in search of alternative employment. This transformed the bustling mining town into the ghost town we see today. What is going on, team, and welcome back to a brand new episode. Feels bloody good to be back onto the channel doing New Zealand stuff again, and we're starting this one off with an absolute banger. As you would have just seen with a wee little history lesson, we've now entered the old ghost mining town of Waiuta, this small little town over here on the west coast, which is riddled in history. We're here now in 2025 to explore it, see what it's all about. We've just arrived. It is absolutely perfect day. So come with us as we walk around all the various abandoned buildings to make sense of what really happened here. Let's go. Alrighty, so before we actually set off, one thing that we've got to put into perspective about this individual spot. So we've parked right in the middle of the car park that's here, and dotted all the way around the car park are the various different monuments, from the old mine shafts to the old buildings, all the way around here. The way that we're going to do this is we're just going to go and walk around building to building, all the information about that, what that building used to be, what its function was, chuck in some old photos if we can find them, and basically take you on a guided walk around this spot. After that, we're then going to go over to the far side and we're going to do the gold discovery walk, which takes approximately 15 minutes to do, and go and see what all that's about. All right, that being said, we've got a shitload of stuff to look at, so let's get wandering. Alrighty, so we're going to kickstart this off, and as you can see, Lauren with all the information for the day, tracked on the phone as usual. Right, so it seems fitting that we start on this very first monument, okay? This one here is the Blackwater mine shaft. This here is the original mine shaft that they actually had and went down and worked in. As you can see, it was an exceptionally large mine, 563.7 meters deep. So unfortunately in 1951, there was a catastrophic collapse in the mine shaft, which then basically deemed this place unusable. That was where the mass exodus of people left this area. But it seems right that the first thing we actually look at here on this site is the reason why everyone was here in the beginning.
Right, on to the next spot. So obviously, as you can imagine, the gold miners got pretty grubby going down in the shaft. So the next stop on the list is the miners' bathhouse. Go check it out.
This is the old boiler that they used to obviously heat the bathhouse up. Still here to this day, looking very rusty indeed, but it is still here. It's absolutely massive. Goes down into the big tank up top to warm the water. And then there would have been various baths all the way around here. You can see, I'm guessing, some of the old plumbing here on the floor. Absolutely amazing.
So what I will say is you were lucky if you were a man or a son in Waiuta back in the day. So men and sons were allowed to use the bathhouses. If you were a woman or a child, basically, and you didn't have running water in your home, you had to have your bath in a tin tub in front of a fire, but men and boys could use this. How rude.
How good.
How rude.
How good. From this original photo of Waiuta back in its original days, you can see steam emanating from the miners' bathhouse. What Lauren said was correct, however on Sundays, families from cottages without running water could have hot showers in the bathhouse as a wee luxury. So the second spot, well the third after the bathhouse, we're now here at the winding engine. So you would have seen over there by the caged off area, that was the mine shaft entrance. Right here was the giant engine for the wind up. This was literally where they pulled the cages up from the bottom of the mines, so you gain access to those 530 plus meter depths. Absolutely incredible to see all the stone foundations still here. All the machinery is obviously gone, but you do still have the foundations where the big pieces of machinery would have gone. There's some cables up the far side that would have gone down into the mine down the far side. Absolutely amazing to see how it all still lays here. Spot where the giant boilers were used to power the winding engine, which sat right next to it, which in turn went down into the mine shaft. Here wood and coal was used to power that engine, but after 1943 when electricity was introduced, it became obsolete and closed down. It's amazing how much is still here that you can just walk around. Obviously all the concrete foundations are here, and there's bits of metal rebarb and stuff sticking out of the walls and engines and things. Mostly everything's been taken away and stripped. So you can go up and inside the bathhouse. Oh, is this going to take us inside the chimney? Oh shit.
Oh wow. It's amazing.
Oh my god, that is cool. It looks like a well. Looks like you're looking down into a well.
So this whole site is actually a tohu whenua, which is an area or part of New Zealand that has significantly impacted the history of New Zealand. So DOC actually maintains these buildings and things really well. They've restored a couple of them, and obviously even above me you can see that obviously parts of this structure were starting to collapse, and they've actually installed, what would you call it, bracing to make sure it doesn't collapse any further. So really, really cool that they keep this looked after so well.
And here's me listening to that awesome history lesson and just still obsessed. This freaking void to nowhere underneath or inside a chimney.
You're like a big kid.
Alrighty, so we've explored so far. We've seen the mine entrance, the shaft entrance, the bathhouse behind us, the old winding engine, or the boilers that powered those engines. We're now making our way over to the far side of the facility to see what else we can uncover. But this place is absolutely amazing so far.
Pure Lauren and Aaron fashion will be here all day.
we absolutely love this mining stuff. And as we said, the day is absolutely beautiful. Everything is so easy to navigate and find. It's just a big outdoor museum, so it's fascinating. Highly recommend it so far.
Skyline feature at the Blackwater shaft in 1937. The transformer received electricity from the Grey electric power board for mine supply, which was supplemented by the company's small 80 kilowatt hydro plant down at the Snowy River, which is another walk you can do, but it's actually closed at the moment due to contamination, arsenic levels and all that sort of stuff. So unfortunately we can't take you on that one. A diesel generator for emergency backup sat in an adjacent shed. Also seen in the photo is the boiler chimney reduction in progress. The work was undertaken after the winding engine was converted to electric drive in 1943, which is what Aaron was just saying before.
So yeah, that 1943 was quite an important time around here because that's where the place got electrified. So obviously previously everything was wood and coal, and then they moved to electric, so it boosted all the proficiency of the place up.
So obviously it took 6 years for that to happen. So this arrived in 1937, but it wasn't actually converted to electric until 1943.
And it's a shame that only, what, 8 years later,
Everything shut down.
Because there was a catastrophic collapse. Shit. So what's important to note about this place is when the town was then built around the discovery of the gold in the mine, along with the workers came their families. Basically, back in those days, you couldn't just drive to your work, go for a day's work and then leave. You had to build communities around those work sites to house all the family. In this area, you would have seen there's going to be a lot of things here to do with the mining. However, like this one here, bowling pavilion. There was lots and lots of leisurely activities built up here. Swimming pools, bowling greens, pavilions, all sorts of stuff up here to cater to the families in their social time and their time off as well. So it's quite amazing looking at this here and seeing this bowling pavilion, or what's left of it. Seeing the chimneys still here from the old pavilion. You can see them still, literally in the tops there. You can still see them poking out. Right, so we just left the bowling green, or the bowling pavilion. We're going to follow the road around behind the back of the bathhouse down to the lower levels and see what we can stumble across before making our way back up to where we've parked, making our way up towards the top there where you can see, and then the red police station. Let's go.
Right, so next stop we've got a little Rimu cottage. So just read that the engine driver for the Blackwater shaft winding bit that we saw back there, he actually lived here. And obviously when the mine closed, his home was sold and was actually used as a holiday home for a while, but looks pretty abandoned now. Let's have a wee look. Beautiful big Rimu trees around the property. That's why it's called Rimu Cottage.
God, they're huge, eh?
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at all this wisteria. Well, this needs trimming. Wow. Bet it smells beautiful in summer. Oh, okay, so yep, so this, like most things when they're old, asbestos is present in this building, so you've got to keep clear. That's why they've closed it down and blocked it off. So if you do come here and visit this site, yet again, stick to the rules like always. It's for your own good. Asbestos is in this building, and obviously if it gets wet and whatnot, it'll make it even worse. So okay, so I by trade I'm a landscaper. Got a profound love of obviously nature and gardens and whatnot. Right next to this Rimu cottage, we've already seen these two ginormous Rimu trees, which are absolutely beautiful. However, the landscaper in me has just discovered this absolute gem. If you see this ginormous tree here, this is a rhododendron. So this here, this would be so damn old, you can't even describe how old this is for the size of it.
Oh my god!
That is actually unbelievable, and as you can see, starting to flower. So you can only imagine what this looks like in spring. Some of the flowers already coming out up at the top, right next to this beautiful Rimu. The wee little gems that you can find by exploring, eh? So this just shows you, look at this, how thick this trunk is of this rhodo. Bloody hell.
This house is literally that old, it's held up by wood rounds.
Oh my god, it's too. Can you see anything in there?
Yeah. You such a... little sheds. Look! You can see inside! This is toilet. Do you need a toilet? Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, look at the old fridge.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's epic.
Some of these areas have been restored. You would have seen the house we've just been in then. It looks like something from The Hills Have Eyes. Right next to it behind us, this building here has been fully renovated. So a fresh coat of paint. We're going to go and explore that and see what it is. Oh, it turns out it's the barber shop.
I'll just go to work. Oh my god, it's so... oh, wow. Actual mirrors on the wall, the clippers are on the table. Oh, that's so cool.
Alrighty, so we've made it to our next spot along the track, and this one here is quite significant. This is one of about 3 or 4 different sites here in the town that has been renovated and restored and looked after by Doc. So we've basically now entered the site, or the home of Joseph Divis, or Divis. We don't really know how to say it. He was an immigrant that moved from Czech Republic, was a seasoned miner, worked here at the Blackwater mine. However, what separated him and put him apart was his use of a camera. He was also a photographer. He used that to supplement his income, making money on the side, and he is the sole reason why we have so many documented pictures about what the town looked like in his heyday. He actually kept records of what this place looked like from when the mines were opening up all the way to its demise in 1951. So it's quite incredible to see his work all over the place, and we're about to go and explore his actual town, his actual house that he lived in, which has now been beautifully renovated. Right, let's go check it out. This place has been absolutely beautifully renovated. I just got Lauren screaming around the side saying that apparently we can go in. Alrighty, so that's Joseph's house explored. It's absolutely amazing. We're now going to make our way back onto the track, which is the big looped background, the town track. Make our way back to where we started. Then go and have a look at the police station, school, swimming pool.
The post office.
Post office.
Yeah.
Shitloads. So we're now dead opposite the church. We're now entering the recreational ground. Rugby, there was
Tennis courts, croquet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
lots of things to do.
yeah, so a nice big area to blow off steam when you're not working. So yeah, we're just going to have a look at that. It was here 1922 to 1951.
Rugby league, soccer, cricket, athletics and wood chopping competitions all took place here, along with fairs, celebrations and picnics. But perhaps the most memorable clashes were between 2 local women's hockey teams, the home brewers and the froth blowers.
So yeah, we're now onto the old recreation grounds where you can see the original rugby posts that were here.
Is one of them still standing?
It's actually amazing to see. So yet again, the point of our YouTube channel and us getting out and doing this kind of stuff is for learning, so we can then pass on information and knowledge to you guys.
We make the mistakes so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Should be our little slogan. So we've arrived here. We've parked over in the car park. We've chucked the car down and we've gone walking around like the full loop almost, nearly. Reason I say nearly is because after looking at the map a fair few times, we've noticed that the roads around the place are all drivable. So they're there on the map as existing roads. They're still maintained. There has been a couple cars driving around since we've been here. So you can actually do all this stuff by driving around. But we've got a lot more to see. And obviously we've got to keep in mind that we've still got to go and drive all the way back to Christchurch, etc, etc. So we're actually going to jump into the car, do the second half of the loop, which is probably another hour on top of it, to finish it off. We're walking across the track now.
Middle track.
This is called the middle track. Kind
of the middle of the loop.
Yeah, this is exactly it, and we'll show you on a map as I'm talking away. Big loop track, cuts right through the middle. Alright, so we're back on the main road, making our way back up to the top, leading off to the car park where we're about to get the car. Along the main road, and we drove past it on the way, it's the police cottage and the lockup. Alright, so yet again, this is one of those 3 or 4 buildings here that have been renovated in those famous Doc red and green bloody colours.
So the locals actually recall the police lockup being for drunks to sleep off a hangover rather than for criminals, although I didn't realise this. Sly grogging in the early years was prevalent and a punishable offence. So you weren't even allowed to enjoy a sneaky beer. Well, not too many anyway. Otherwise you were put in there to sleep it off.
So I've just left the police station. Just off to the left hand side of the road is the information kiosk, so probably makes sense to go up there, have a good read of the place before going and doing the walk. Obviously we went the other way around, but we're going to go and check it out now, see what more there is to know. So it turns out this information centre, which is now full of all these boards, information boards, used to be the old school and then the post office, which is quite amazing. So from 1911 to 1925 this was the school, then from 1927 to when the place closed in 1951 it was the post office.
Right, so literally just down from the post office where we were before is the swimming pool walk. So as I mentioned above at the post office, walk down to the swimming pool, which was obviously for leisure, the activities for the community, and we will walk past the site where gold was discovered here in Waiuta. So we'll go along and check out the swimming pool.
How good.
So we've arrived at the swimming pool. Swimming pool in the outside, in the outdoors I should say, on the west coast. It's freezing. And I was just saying before, I read something about eels and I was like, surely not. But yes, the swimming pool often had an eel or two in it, sometimes put there on purpose to scare the younger folk.
So that was the swimming pool that we've just explored. It's quite substantial, quite impressive, which is just quite surprising. We're now just going to make our way over to where gold was first discovered. Just going to go over so we can see some mine shafts that we walked past. Old Hawkeye Lawrence spotted them. Is that a cave? So we're going to go over there now and go and check that out and see what's that. Finally made it over to the west coast with the pinpointer. It's not a metal detector. Started small with a pinpointer, and she's like, I'm going to bring it this time. And she's been in all the waterways, just beep, 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 beep. She's come to an area which is just full of iron and metal. Signals going off everywhere, but hey, she'll find some gold.
Right, we finished up at the swimming pool and we've jumped back in the car and we are now heading up to the Prohibition shaft and ball mill. So basically Prohibition shaft is the deepest shaft in New Zealand. I think we're 879 metres, and the mill is where they actually ground the quartz down to extract the gold from it. So apparently it's about a 5-minute drive from the Waiuta township, so we're just heading up Prohibition Hill now and we'll take you along to see what it's all about.
Alrighty, so yep, 5 minutes up the road we've gained about 500 and something meters of elevation, and on the top of this Prohibition Hill is Prohibition Shaft and what was it?
Ball mill.
Ball mill. So this here, as Lauren said on the drive up, is where they crush the quartz to try and extract that gold. So yet again, we're just looking at the remnants of it now. We're also going to see whereabouts that shaft is. Prohibition Shaft, the largest, deepest mine shaft in New Zealand.
879 metres deep.
Which is hella deep. So we've been up here at the top of Prohibition Hill now for the last 10 or so minutes, walk amongst all the different foundation buildings, the top tier, the lower tier. Problem was, we couldn't find any signage or any indication whatsoever showing where that old 800 and something meter shaft is. Lauren jumped on a blog, good old bloody blogs, found the answer. It is super weird and super eerie. Reason being, where Lauren is currently standing, 800 meters below her is the shaft.
It still had 40% of its reserves left to mine.
Yeah.
So basically 60% of the mine had been mined. There was still 40%, which is huge. So they actually sealed off this mine shaft and hope that they might actually reopen it one day. Obviously it's never happened so far. May happen in the future, we don't know. But yeah, we literally couldn't find it anywhere. We were looking for a hole with like fence around it. That's usually what they look like. And yeah, we literally parked right beside it.
Lo and behold, we're currently standing on something that is 800 and something meters deep. That is so eerie.
Wow.
That's so weird.
All right, team, back where we started. So we have now completed the Waiuta loop track that we took you guys around. It's been an awesome experience, full of history, just exactly what we love. Honestly, you could spend the whole day here. We arrived here at 9:30.
Not
it's
even
now,
that, 8:30?
Yeah, 8:39, and it's now nearly 2:30. So we've spent most of the day here. There's still stuff you could have really explored. Awesome place to come, definitely worth it. We hope you've enjoyed coming along with us, and yeah, it's great to be back in New Zealand filming again. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.